Hey everyone, today we're going to discuss about arrays. So if you are new to the concept of arrays, don't worry, this will be the only video you need to watch on the YouTube. And if you are somehow related to the already familiar to the concept of arrays, I will give you another reason for watching this video. Firstly, read out this problem once. If you are able to solve this problem and good to go, then you're good to go. You don't need this video. But if you are feeling confused about this, then this video will be for you. I am giving you time. Pause this video and check it out once. Okay, so if you have decided to continue to the video, let us just give me few time, just forget about this for some time. Let us first discuss about what actually the arrays are. We will have a quick recap about arrays, then we will come back to this problem and solve it. Okay, pardon me on my handwriting. So the topic of today is array. Now arrays are data types which store the same type of data. Never ever say this definition in your life. Use the word instead of data type, use the word ADTs. Say it abstract data type. That arrays are abstract data type which uses same type of data to store. ADTs. Now, if you are wondering about what are ADT, what is abstract data type, don't worry, I am going to explain you. Uh, uh, ADT means abstract data type means those data types who use abstractions. Now, what the hell is abstraction? Abstraction is nothing, it is just a simple word which means data hiding. Let's understand this with an example. While learning about arrays, you will only learn what is array, how where we need array, how the array is implemented in code or where the array is used. You will learn about this only. You will not learn about how the memory, how the array is being stored in memory, how the array, how the compiler is accessing array from memory. You will not learn these things. But this doesn't mean that these things don't exist. These things exist, but not for you. These are not for you. These are hidden from you because you don't have use of it. So this data hiding technique is called as abstraction. One more example of this is in like you are coding in Java, then the code will be compiled into assembly language, then the code will be compiled into machine language, then the machine code will link, and then the computer will know what the output should it give. Okay, but you don't need to know how the code is in the backend, how the code is being compiled or how the code is being converted into machine code. You don't have to really worry about it, right? So this thing is known as abstraction. Now, if I have mentioned about memory and these things, one more thing about array is always stored in a contiguous memory. What? Array is always stored in a contiguous memory blocks. Don't worry, I will also explain what these things means. Just let me draw a box like this. Here we are storing array of integers of 4. For suppose this one in memory address, this one is being stored in memory address of 102, this 2 is stored in memory address of 104, and this 3 is being stored in the memory address of 106, and this 4 is being stored in the memory address of 108, right? So see, there is a pattern, in these memory addresses. This is known as contiguous memory address. This uh, type of pattern, kind of repeating pattern, or like moving or adding some pattern, this is known as contiguous memory blocks. Another concept of this I am having in my mind is related to storing strings in memory. Oh, where the pointer go? Let me erase it. Let me erase it, guys, and draw it again. For suppose we have an array of a string which is having two names Mohit and Rahul. Now this in like this will be stored in contiguous memory. For suppose this is being stored in 1006, so and this is being stored in 1008. Okay, but remember this one thing, that this is a string. In our compiler, or in our memory, sorry, not in our compiler, in our memory, this string is has to be stored in separate characters like M, O, H, I and T. Here can be any empty brackets, right? Correct. So the thing of learning is, the point of mentioning it here is in Java, specifically in Java, these characters are stored by the decision of JVM. JVM, Java Virtual Machine, decides where to store these character. Either it can store this in contiguous blocks or not. Like here, it can remove T from here, and it can write T here and leave this block empty, leave the middle one block empty. Okay, so specifically in case of characters, the JVM will decide where to store, either to store it in contiguous memory blocks or not. Don't worry, the thing array is still being stored in a contiguous memory blocks. Either it can be of string data type or integer or boolean data type. But on we are say, I am saying this for strings or for characters only. Okay, right. Now while discussing array, there are might be some possible types of arrays, which can be static array and dynamic array. Other than this, we can create a 1D array, one dimensional array, or two dimensional array, sorry, or three dimensional array. We will discuss all five of them. Now what is a static array? A static array is just a simple array which is which is created in code. Like you will tell the data type first, you will write the data type of which data type you want to create a array, and then you will write array name, like array name or reference variable or an identifier, and then you will add these two brackets here, and in is equals to these two brackets. In these two brackets you will add your array elements. Okay, each element or each value you want to store in array, these are called as elements, and the array itself can be called as an object. Remember this thing, I am repeating this again. All the values stored in this array are called as elements, and the array itself is called as an object. Okay, so the syntax might be look simpler and easier to you guys. We will code it later. Now one more important thing I want to discuss here is about array index. Array index is always a start from 0 to -1. Now what does this mean? This means if we take this array, example of this array, here the 1 will be on the index 0, the 2 will be on the index 1, the 3 will be on the index 2, and the 4 will be on the index 3. And arrays are always accessed by their indexes. You can create an array like this. An array can be created like this, but it will not be printed in your output. The output will nothing. If you just do this, you will not get any output. You have to access these indexes by your code. By you have to access these values by their indexes. Let me show you by coding them. Just wait, we have an your class, like I said you, sorry I forgot. Here we have to create firstly a class which will be as the same name as of our file. The name should be same always. Then we will have a main method public static void main. Okay, here is a main method. Now here we can create an array. Firstly, we have to declare the data type, then we have to declare the name or identifier or reference variable. You can call it anything. I forgot to add these two brackets here. You can add these on the name of you can add these brackets behind the name of the variable, or you can add these after the name of the integer data type. Okay, then you will create this, and now you can add values as much you can, right? And here has to be a semicolon. Okay, got it. Now your array has been created, but if you run this, you will not get any output. Your code has been executed, but you will not get any output. Why? Because you have to access these elements. If you have to print these, you will type system.out.println, then you will write the array name, and here you will write its index. So at 0th index, you will see the 1 is being written, 1 is being printed. You get output as 1, and on first index, the 1 index, you will get output of 2. Like, okay, you good? This is a built-in method where you can print array. If you write array.length, the name of the array, and then dot length, it will give you the length of the array, and the index of the array always will be length minus 1. I'm writing it here. The index of the array will be always length minus 1, because you always count it with starting with 0. Okay, got the point? Now what I was referring earlier, that index of an array starts with 0 and ends on minus 1. So whenever minus 1, what does this mean? Whenever you want to access the index, like we have created 6 index, our index in on this array we have created, our index goes to 6. But if I have to access the 7th index, what will be the return I will get? See, index 7 is out of bound for length 7. So this is somewhere in the code, this is set to be minus 1. Minus 1 here, minus 1 is also called as index out of bound, called as index out of bound. Okay, simple concept. Got this? Now tell me, if my array is bigger than this, if my array length is bigger than 7, like if my array length is, for suppose we are typing it till 20, till 24 now. I will do this, write this system.out.println array length index 1, array index 2 till 20 or till 19. No, this won't be a good method for doing it. What I will simply do is I will run a for loop. Although you can run any loop, but for arrays there is always suggested loop using a for loop. It is always suggested to use a for loop. Then I is greater than equals to array.length I plus plus. Okay. Now, if you are wondering, you are not cleared about the syntax of for loop, firstly you will initialize an variable and declare its value. Like I have initialized I variable, which will have an integer value, and I have declared its value to 0. Then I am applying a condition here that I is less than and equals to array length. The array variable I am having, its length will be I will be lesser than the length of the array. Then I am having a statement of I plus plus. Here what I will do, system.out.println array, right? What I think is the correct thing here is to print I. Okay, let's just print and hope this code runs. Okay, see. But here is one more good concept to share with you guys. For arrays, Java allows us to use an enhanced for loop. And what will be the difference of the syntax between an enhanced for loop and a simple loop is you will first write a, you will not write anything like this. You will just write integer, declare type, assign a new variable of value which will be equal to array, which will be equal to your this operator, and here you will just type this and your loop is created. This is a very much simple syntax for using an enhanced for loop. Now I think we should skip this and talk about 2D arrays. 2D arrays. 2D arrays have a similar syntax, but the change is here we will use columns and rows while creating a 2D array. So where do we need the 2D array? First, suppose you have to create an array for a company which is having 4 branches, and and you have to type a record of each 4 branches sales within 4 years, from 2021 to 2025, and 4 branches sale. So would you might write this one by one? You will create 20, you will create an array of size 20, then you will write one by one for branch 1 sale from 2021 to 2025, then branch 2 sale 2000 from 2021 to 2025. Actually it is being difficult for me in saying. So how would it be easy for encoding? So for this to ease this difficulty out, we use the concept of 2D arrays. Now 2D arrays, it might look good if we create rows and columns. Here we can write branch 1, branch 1, branch 2, and branch 3, branch 3, branch 4. If I am not forgetting the syntax for typing comments, I think I can put an asterisk here, yeah, and one asterisk here, and it will be converted into comments. All, no, it is not being closed. Asterisk before and write this. Now it is, I think it is good to go now, and here we can write anything between these. Okay, now here we can write 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, right? And we can have any values, we can have any price values here for these. 1000 sale, 10,000 sale, 2 lakh sale, 3 lakh sale, and we can make this array like this. So it would be great to create this. Now you just need to know about the syntax of creating it. The syntax is pretty much simple. Why I'm writing in these comments? Let us remove this firstly. Okay, now the syntax is pretty much simpler and more likely the same to this array Here you will give just two brackets and is equal to, you will add here, and now you will write 1 2 3, and here you will give this, and here you will write 1 2 3. Okay, and here you will also write this, and here you can close this. Okay, here I have given a wrong indentation. Okay, now it is good to go. We have created an array. What if now we want to print this array? We can just run a for loop, int I equals to 0. Wait, I is less than array dot length, and I plus plus. I did another mistake here. This is my mistake. Now here what you have to do, you have to run another for loop for printing the rows of it. Here you will declare another variable j, which will be equals to 0, and you will also do j less than array dot length, then you will do j plus plus. Okay, now here you will simply do south ln print I. What you have to do for printing, I guess this, like this, and like this, and type here array. I guess it is good. Let us run this. It has printed this but not in the order. Let me fix this. Okay, I am having a very much silly mistake here. I haven't written here of I. I haven't written here about the columns. Still it is saying. Why? How will my output will come good if I am writing here print ln? It is breaking the line here. Now let's see. Now this is becoming horrible, but it is fun solving this. Okay, now it's fine. What the error was, here I was writing print ln where I shouldn't break the row, but in the end, after completing this like for loop of the inner loop, then we have to write print ln, which will make the difference, which will break the line and print to the next line. Okay, now I finally got this. So after this was the example of a 2D array. One more thing here, if you like have to create an array of more than elements. Here I am keeping the same, but here 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, and now I print this, it will print in the same manner, but the number of rows or columns are not linearly equal. The rectangle it is forming, the array, the rectangle the array is forming is not a perfect or quite good rectangle. These types of arrays are called as jagged arrays. What? Jagged arrays. Jagged arrays. Typing it here so you will remember this. Either if you are creating a notes or not, you have to have to keep in mind. You should have a knowledge of it. Okay, now what's next? Let me check on my notes either if I won't miss anything. Yeah, now other thing about array is the after 2D, after discussing 2D array, you can have a 3D array, which will mean a array inside an array, which will mean an array inside an array. Like if you create an array of having size 3, 3, it will form a like cubic shape of it. This won't print because there is an error, but more likely we have to here add another for loop which will start from k, named k, and type 0, and then k will be greater than array dot length, but length of j, and now k plus plus, good to go. So this is how you need to create an array, a 3D array. Here you will write k and you will control X and print this out here, right? Good. So this will be the syntax of printing an array of three-dimensional. You can say a 3D array might be a nested array, a array inside an array, and you can create as many as you like this. 4D, you can go for 5D and else. Now what else should be done to arrays? We are lefting the concept of the operations performed on an array is like the insertion, accessing array. We have seen how to access the array. There are insertion. We can add elements and delete elements from an array, or we can traverse an array. Traversal. What does the traversal mean? Traversal mean going from one to accessing whole array, going from one index to another index. Like we have created a loop where we are traversing each row, each row, and then other row, and then other row. We are accessing each row and each column. Okay, this is known as traversing. We have seen how to access array by indexes. We have done traversing. What thing is remaining is of how to insert an array element in an array, sorry, not an array. So for this we are keeping this syntax simpler. We are just creating a simple array without anything in it. 1 2 3 4 5. I'm closing it here, adding and skipping all these loops and other things. Okay, now here I think another is lacking. Okay, now this code is good to go. Now insertion means you can modify, access any element and you can modify it as you like. Now you can access array index 1 and change its value to, you can say, 9. Okay, now whenever you will try to print or access this element, access this index 2, you will see the updated value, right? Now this 3 has been replaced with 9. Okay, this is known as inserting an element. Now let us check if there is no element here. Can we insert this? The length of the array, I think the indexes is going from 0 1 2 3 4. We are adding this at the array 5, index 5, and we are trying to print our fifth index. No, this won't work here. You have to initialize once the index when you have created this, right? This is known as a static array. Once the array is created, you can't modify the values inserted in it. Then the other thing, the other type of the array is dynamic array, which might differ from an static array. We will discuss it later, or I think we should discuss the dynamic array. Give me a minute. Actually, I don't remember the syntax of dynamic array. That's why I have written this on my paper. It is hard to remember, and you really don't need to remember it at all. Okay, so here for dynamic array in Java, in Python, we use a term which is known as array list. It is a built-in method. It is a built-in method for accessing array list. Here we have to type integer and give the reference name list equals to create a new array list. Okay, quite good. What I said earlier, that here in Java and Python we call a dynamic array as array list, but in C or C++ we call it as vectors. A dynamic array in C language or C++ language is known as vectors, while in Java and Python we say it as array list. Okay, now this is the syntax, and you have built-in methods to add something to the list. Nice, good, understanding it. I hope you are getting the point. You can add elements in list like this. Good. Then if you have to print it out, you will just shout list. Okay, and here your list will be printed like this. So this is an example of dynamic array. Now let's speak about the time and space complexity while dealing with arrays. If you haven't watched the previous video on time and space complexity, I prefer you should watch, where I have given a very detailed guide about time and space complexity. So the time and space complexity of array is different for different operations. Like if you try to access, for accessing an array, it is constant, which is O of 1. But for traversing an array, for traversal or insertion or deletion, the complexity becomes O of n, right? Okay, now let us come here and try to understand this locker problem. Now what the locker problem is saying, that Bobo, these problems always had a character named Bobo in them, visits the local high school on Saturday and finds that all the school's 1000 lockers are neatly closed. So he starts at one end of the school and opens them all. Now pay your attention here. A character named Bobo is visiting a high school on Saturday, and he find out that the school is having 1000 lockers, which are nearly closed, not neatly closed, which are nearly closed. So he starts at one end of the school and opens them all. Firstly, he opens all the lockers, then he goes back to the start and close every other locker, means all the even lockers. Now what is happening here? The even lockers are being closed and the odd lockers are being opened. Then he goes back to the start and hits every third locker. Now he is going towards odd numbers. If it's open, he closes it. If it's closed, he opens it. Okay, then he hits every fourth locker, every fifth locker, and so on. He keeps doing this all weekend long, walking the hallways, opening and closing lockers hundredth, thousandth time. Then he gets bored and go home. How many of the schools 1000 lockers are left open? And which one are those? The trick is here of understanding the even lockers are always all closed, but the odd locker is being opened. The open lockers are odd lockers. Okay, how I am saying this, the other thing to notice is Bobo has iterated to 1000 times, means he has moved around these lockers from 1000 times. Now, what are the chances of having these lockers remain closed, unopened? Are these we have to create factors of each locker, means factor of 1, factor of 2, factor of 3, factor of 4, till the factors of 100,000 locker. All the lockers having their factors odd, coming out odd, will be opened. The simple solution for this is all the lockers which are having their odd factorials are open till now. For suppose you will have 16. If you take a locker number 16, locker number 16, now what are the factorials of 16? 16's factorials can be 1, 2 and 4 or 8, and I guess 16, right? I guess 16. So which comes out to it has 5 factorials, which is an odd number. Then this locker should be remain open. If we talk about like this locker number 17, now we have to traverse till locker 1000th. Okay, this will be likely to this. Now if we try to code this thing, how will we do it? What if we will break down this code? I don't type this code and keep our time as short as we can and show you the code from the book from where I have taken this problem. Okay, nice. It will be a better option, I guess. Coming back towards it. Wait for a while. Yeah, this is the code for the locker problem. Now if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can. Now what it is doing, it is creating a boolean array which will where true will be open and false will be closed. Boolean, you know the boolean data type, it only has values true and false. Then if the lockers are all closed, for all closed, the for loop will be I is equals to 1. Why we are starting from 1 and going and creating array till 1001? Because of the index easier accessing and easier index, making the index easy to access. That was the correct sentence, sorry for the fumble. And then what we are doing, we are creating false, means all the lockers are closed. Then what the next thing we are doing, we are skipping, we are creating a method of skip, and then Bobo is changing every plus escape plus lockers, and lockers is equals to escape, locker if less than 1000, locker plus is equals to escape. Okay, now what this is doing, we have explanation of this here. Line 16, every iteration of this loop represents one stop at a locker on a trip through the hallways. The third expression in the for loop for statement on the next line adds the skip variable to the index variable so that Bobo can access every nth locker on each trip through the hallways. This statement uses not operator to reverse the string of each locker. Thus, if the locker is open, true, so it gets closed, false, and vice versa. Okay. So this was the simple problem which I mentioned in the starting of the video. This was the whole array video, leaving you guys till now. Hope you liked it.